You bought a new battery, brand new, still had the sticker on it, and 3 weeks later, dead. Just nothing. You turn the key and the truck just sits there, silent, like it's mocking you. And you're standing there in the driveway thinking, how? I literally just replaced it. Here's the part that's going to frustrate you. The battery was fine. It was never the problem. Something in your truck killed it. And if you don't find that thing, it's going to kill the next one too. I want to tell you about a guy named Marcus, F-150 owner. Bought his truck used about 4 years ago. Good shape, ran great. First winter, battery dies. He goes to AutoZone, gets the free test. Battery's bad. Okay, he replaces it. $180. Done. 8 months later, dead again. Same test, same result. He buys another one, and I think at this point he's just convinced he got unlucky twice. Third battery dies 11 months after that. At this point, Marcus has spent over $500 on batteries. And the truck still has the same problem. Because here's what nobody told Marcus, and honestly, what most shops won't even bother to explain. There are 3 separate things that can kill a truck battery, and only one of them is actually the battery. I'm going to walk you through all 3, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to figure out which one you're dealing with before you spend a single dollar. Now let me be real with you before we go any further. Most battery dying content out there gives you the same answer every time. Check your connections, clean the terminals, replace the battery. That's fine advice if the battery is actually the problem. But if it's not, and in a lot of these cases it isn't, you're just spinning your wheels. Here's what's actually going on. When a battery dies once, sure, maybe it just wore out. Batteries don't last forever. But when it keeps dying, when you replace it and it happens again, that's not a battery problem. That's a system problem. And your system has 3 potential failure points. Number 1, the battery itself is genuinely dead. Can't hold a charge. Done. Number 2, the alternator isn't properly recharging the battery while you drive. So every time you start the truck, you're pulling from something that never fully recovered. Number 3, and this one is sneaky, something is draining the battery while the truck is sitting completely off, parked, in your driveway, while you're asleep. Most people only ever check number 1, and that's exactly how you end up like Marcus. Okay, so let's start with number 2, the alternator, because this is the one that fools the most people. Let me explain this the right way. The alternator's job is simple. Engine's running, alternator spinning, it's generating electricity and pushing it back into the battery. Keeps it charged while you drive. Works right, you never think about it. Works wrong. You buy 3 batteries in 2 years and never know why. Here's the thing. Most truck owners, and honestly, a lot of parts stores, test the alternator at idle. Engine on, nothing else running. They put a meter on it, see 13.5 to 14 volts and say, yep, alternator's good, must be the battery. But wait, think about how you actually drive your truck. Headlights on, AC blasting, phone charging, radio going, maybe the heated seats if it's January in Minnesota. Under all of that real-world load, a marginal alternator that sailed through the idle test can quietly start underperforming. Not dramatically, it's not going to throw a light. It just can't keep up. And so day after day, trip after trip, the battery is running at 80%, then 70%, then 60%. It never gets a full charge. The plates inside slowly sulfate. And then one random Tuesday morning, nothing. You think it's the battery. It's not. The alternator starved it to death. Grab a basic multimeter, $15 at any hardware store. Engine running, leads on the battery terminals. Now turn on your headlights, your AC, plug something into the charger. Simulate a real drive. Watch the number. It should hold at 13.5 volts or better. If it drops to 12.8, 12.5, anything under 13, your alternator is struggling. That's your answer. And that's the test the free check at the parts store never runs. But honestly, The alternator is only part of this, because the second cause, the one that produces the most dead batteries and the least obvious explanation, that one happens when the truck is completely off. No key, no engine, nothing running. And it's draining your battery every single hour. Your modern truck has somewhere between 40 and 70 electronic modules sitting inside it. Computers, sensors, communication systems, body control modules, all of them. When you shut the truck off, most of them go to sleep. And sleep doesn't mean fully off. It means they drop into a low-power standby mode, like your phone screen dimming. That's normal. Totally expected. On a healthy truck, all those modules settle down to somewhere around 20 to 50 milliamps within about 15 or 20 minutes. That's nothing. That's not enough to drain a good battery overnight. But here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes one of those modules glitches. It doesn't go to sleep properly. Or maybe you added something to the truck, a dash cam, an aftermarket stereo, a USB charger wired into an always-on port. And that thing is quietly pulling power 24 hours a day, whether the truck is on or not. Now, instead of 30 milliamps sitting quietly in the dark, you've got 150, 200, sometimes more, every hour, every night, slowly draining your battery like a slow leak in a tire you can't see. And the worst part? No warning light, no indication at all. If you drive the truck every day, the alternator might keep up just enough that you never notice until you leave it parked for a long weekend. Or until January hits and the cold takes the last few percent the drain left behind. Then you come back to nothing. And you think it's the battery. Again. Here's the test. Same multimeter, different setup. Truck is off. All doors closed. Set the meter to measure DC milliamps. Disconnect the negative battery cable. Put one lead on the cable, one on the terminal post. You're now measuring exactly how much power the truck is pulling with the key off. Wait about 15 minutes. Let everything fall asleep. Then look at the number. Under 50 milliamps, you're fine. Above 100, something is awake that shouldn't be. Above 150 or 200, that's almost certainly your problem right there. That one number tells you more about why your battery keeps dying than anything the parts store will ever test for free. Okay? Pause. And I want to be straight with you. This stuff is actually not that complicated once you know what you're looking for. You don't need to be a mechanic. You don't need to understand how any of this works at a deep level. You just need two numbers. That's it. But before I give you the exact sequence to get those numbers, I want to show you what this looks like in real dollars, because the math here is the part that should genuinely make you angry. A quality battery for a full-size truck, F-150, Silverado, Ram, runs somewhere between $150 and $220. If your alternator is the real problem, replacing that typically runs $300 to $450 at an independent shop, more at a dealer. So here's how the story usually plays out when nobody diagnoses the real cause. Battery dies. You spend $180. Battery dies again 8 months later. Another $180. A mechanic finally catches the alternator. Add $400 on top of the 2 batteries you already bought. You're now at $750, $800, and you still burn 2 years of dead mornings getting there. Now run it the other way. $15 multimeter. 10-minute test in your driveway. Alternator fails the load test. You fix the alternator first for $375. Buy 1 battery. Done. Total? Around $400. And that battery runs 5 or 6 years the way it's actually supposed to. Same result. Half the money. None of the frustration. That's the cost of skipping 1 test. And I mean that literally. 1 test. 15 minutes. Here's something you can do tonight. Go out to your truck. Key off, everything off, and put your multimeter on the battery terminals. A healthy, fully charged battery should read around 12.6 volts at rest. If you're seeing 12.2 or lower, the battery isn't holding a proper charge. If it reads 12.6, but the truck still cranks like it's half asleep, that's a different issue. The battery might show okay voltage, but can't deliver enough current under load. That one number, Right now, tonight tells you exactly where to start. No tools, no mechanical experience, just a $15 meter and 30 seconds. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I don't own a multimeter, and honestly, I don't want to mess with electrical stuff. I hear that, and I want to be straight with you. You are not rewiring your truck. You're not diagnosing fault codes. You're not doing anything that requires a YouTube course first. You are reading two numbers. One tells you if the alternator is keeping up under load. One tells you if something is draining the battery while the truck sits. That's it. Two numbers. And here's why that matters, even if you plan to take it to a shop. When you walk in and say, I ran the alternator load test and it dropped to 12.8 under load, the conversation changes completely. You're not the person saying, I don't know, it just died. You're the person who already knows what they're looking for. A shop can't upsell you a battery you don't need if you already know the battery isn't the problem. $15, one tool, and it works on pretty much every problem the truck will throw at you for the next 10 years. All right, here's the sequence. This is the exact order I'd run these tests before buying anything. Step 1, resting voltage, key off, everything off, meter on the terminals. You want 12.4 volts or higher. Below that, the battery isn't holding a full charge. Step 2, alternator load test. Engine running, headlights on, AC on, charger in. You need 13.5 volts or better. Drops below 13 under load, your alternator is the problem. Step 3, parasitic draw. Truck off, doors closed, wait 15 minutes. Meter measuring milliamps through the negative cable. Under 50, normal. Above 100, something's awake that shouldn't be. 3 tests, 20 minutes total. And they will tell you, clearly, specifically, whether you need a battery, an alternator, an electrical diagnosis, or all 3. And remember Marcus? 3 batteries, $500, 2 years of frustration. He finally ran these tests on battery number 4. Turned out to be a glitching trailer brake module pulling 190 milliamps every night. $20 fix. Problem gone. Don't replace parts. Diagnose first. That's not just good advice. That's the difference between fixing your truck and funding someone else's. Now, if you ran the parasitic draw test and you're sitting there looking at 150, 200 milliamps, you know you have a drain. But knowing you have a drain and knowing which circuit is causing it, those are two very different things. There's a method mechanics use called the fuse pull sequence. You go through the fuse box, one fuse at a time, watching the meter drop. When the number falls, it's straightforward, but there's a specific order to do it right so you don't accidentally reset modules or miss the actual culprit. I walked through the whole thing in a separate video. If you've already confirmed a draw, that's your next step. It's linked right now. Go watch it. You'll have this completely figured out before you spend another dollar.